In the early days of radio, country music variety shows were called barn dances. The Grand Ole Opry, the most famous of the barn dances, was broadcast on WSM, a radio station owned by National Life Insurance Company.
Right almost from the beginning, a country music program was started. Edwin Craig of the National Life brought George D. Hay to Nashville from the WSM station in Chicago, where the barn dance had already started, and George Hay put together a country instrumental program, starting with one fiddler on Saturday night.
In the early days, Nashville did not really accept country music. And working for WSM, I can remember when we would go to the Belmead Country Club and be approached by the people at the club saying, why don't you take that horrible music off the air? Because they were much more concerned that the Metropolitan Opera was on Saturday afternoon. And of course, that's how the Grand Ole Opry really got its name, because when the Judge Hay said, and now from the opera to the Opry, and that is what coined the phrase, the Grand Ole Opry.
Friends, you couldn't call that kind of music Opry, but you could call it Grand Ole Opry.
I love country music ever since I was a kid, you know. I mean, I always, my mom would let me stay up on Saturday night, you know, so I could listen to the Grand Ole Opry. That was the only night that I could stay up past 9 o'clock.
I wouldn't go out on a date if the boy couldn't pick up the Grand Ole Opry on the radio. I just wasn't interested. Maybe it's why I never married.
Welcome to the Grand Ole Opry, friends. And to start our show, here is the king of country music, Roy Acuff.
From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the clean flowing mountain to the south belt by the shore.
Roy Acuff joined the Grand Ole Opry in 1938 and became the show's biggest star. Representing a living link to country music's Appalachian heritage, his mountain sound remained a fixture on the Opry for more than 50 years.
Mr. Acuff was one who, he loved the Grand Ole Opry as much as he loved music itself. They became synonymous to him, and I think my appreciation for the Grand Ole Opry as an institution, really a lot came from him.
There wasn't many bands going when we first started, just a very few.
Roy Acuff was a great boss. He sure was, wasn't he, Oswald?
Best I ever seen. He wasn't a boss. He was just one of the boys. That's the way he worked all the time.
Hey, around the corner. Yoo-hoo! Come on, let's have fun. It's open house. Everybody join in.
Acuff, he could be with the President of the United States, or, say, the richest man, Ross Perot or Ted Turner, for example, anybody like that. And one of the boys come in that worked with me out on the farm, maybe don't have but a third-grade education. But he was just as comfortable with that guy as he was with the guy that was President of the United States.
We're not in any hurry. He don't need to get back up there quick anyway. Now, turn your hand over and let it go out. Turn your hand over and let it go out. Now jerk it back.
I'll stay here and try to learn how to use the yo-yo. You'll go up and be president, brother.
The Grand Ole Opry's home for 30 years was the Ryman Auditorium in downtown Nashville, dubbed the Carnegie Hall of the South. Loyal country music fans would line up outside the Ryman every Saturday night in hopes of seeing their favorite country stars.
You know, the Ryman Auditorium to me represents what it's all about. This is the place where Hank Williams encored Lovesick Blues 7 times. This is the place where Patsy Cline was. This is the place where the country music as we know it was pulled together. It's the mother church of country music.
The Ryman Auditorium was a marvelous, marvelous place to sing in. And it really didn't have to have a sound system to hear yourself singing. I get a chill every time I hear some of those old shows that we used to do in there.
In 1974, the Opry House moved to a new location as the centerpiece of a theme park called Opryland USA. The traditions of the Opry were carried over from the Ryman to the new venue.
There's a section of wooden stage that was moved from the Ryman Auditorium out to the Opryland site, the present Opryland site, that holds a lot of the soul and a lot of the notes that were played at the Ryman. And the first time I hit the Opry stage after Small Town Saturday Night was a big record. I stood on that spot and felt the soul of all the people that had stood there before.
When I think about the history of country music, and you know, you always have these sayings about being in the inner circle, and I think the inner circle of country music is that little circle of wood that they transferred from the Ryman stage to the Opry stage at Opryland.
And to me, you know, when I stand on that piece, I'm like, Patsy Cline stood here. Loretta Lynn has stood here so many times. Hank Williams stood here.
I was doing all right on the Grand Ole Opry until I walked out and stood in a circle. You know, there's a little circle of wood that came from the Ryman Auditorium.
The first time I went on the Grand Ole Opry, I was as nervous. I could have threaded a sewing machine with it running. I was scared to death.
Well, it scared me to death. I mean,
my knees shook and my voice shook.
Your knees don't quit knocking.
And I was so terrified, so terrified.
I was very nervous.
I was so nervous I don't remember too much about it.
I had absolutely no control of my voice. I can't imagine what it sounded like.
I was nervous and I was sort of in a haze.
I was elated, happy, and scared.
I'll never forget. I was thrilled beyond a point of words.
And the atmosphere in there was just hot and electric.
When I came here to appear on the Grand Ole Opry the first time, I waited 2 hours out in the waiting room before the manager of the Opry finally said, "Come on in," and looked at my black clothes and long hair and sideburns and said, "What makes you think you belong on the Grand Ole Opry?" So I said, "Well, I've got a record in the top 10 bestsellers, which was Folsom Prison Blues." And I said, "I think they'd like to hear me." So he said, "You're on."
Hank Snow and his Rainbow Ranch Boys.
Some people may have the idea in their mind that the Opry's over with and it's just a place where Grandma and Grandpa used to go. It's very much a living and breathing show that's alive with Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson and Travis Tritt and Alison Krauss and Patty Loveless, as well as the traditional cast out there.
Some of the young guys are big hits, but don't know what a live radio show is. They're used to doing stage shows. Then they'll stand around like a tree full of young owls, you know, waiting for what? Because you're introduced, you're on the air, you know. Hit it. We were always told to hit it with everything you have immediately.
Okay.
You know, the Opry is organized chaos. Everybody knows when they're supposed to be on stage. Some of them don't get there till 1 minute before, but they know exactly what they're doing.
Are you in a real big hurry? As always. We'll catch you in a little bit. We always tease Connie because she's always a last-minute one on stage.
It's wonderful to be backstage to watch all the boys, how they tune up and how they dress and everything. Down to the old Ryman Auditorium, that's where I can remember more. The boys would come in off the road and one group would ask the other and said, "Did you make any money this week? If you didn't make any money, well, I've made some, I'll let you have some."
Music touches people's hearts. It tells stories, or the lyrics make people think of the love that they have for one another, or the love that they have lost, or the love that they hope to have sometime. It paints a pretty picture of love, the way we love to have it. We never quite get there.